Now we will study about the formation of the continents. Now we have already studied there are 7 major continents on the earth, but it was a single continent earlier. So the movement of these plates have changed the position and size of the continents over millions of years. It took millions of years for the formation of present day continents. There are 7 continents and these all moved away so that the present day continents are formed. Such movements have also influenced the evolution of the present landform features of India. So how these mountains are formed and plains are formed, etc. we will study here. So there was a old land mass, that means the peninsular part. Peninsula means the 3 sides which are covered with the water. And here the large continent which was known as a single continent which was known as Pangaea. So Pangaea was a continent which was divided into 2 regions and the region, the part of Gondwana land, Angara land and Gondwana land, that was the 2 regions of the single continent. In between there was a sea, Tethys Sea also. Okay, in between there was a sea which was called a Tethys Sea. So the Gondwana land was the southern part of the continent, included part of India, okay, included part of our country, South America, Australia and Antarctica, South Africa. These are all the southern continents we know. So all these were together known as Gondwana land. That means the south of the Tethys Sea. These all regions were known as the Gondwana land. It was a larger mass of land. So the conventional currents, we have already studied the different currents. Conventional currents split the crust into number of pieces. All these were single continent was split into many pieces. These are all taking place in millions of years, not within a few years. So they began to drift away or began to move away. So number of smaller regions were originated from this. The Australian plate, we have already studied the under the earth there are plates. So the region where the Australia is existing, Australian plate was being separated from the Gondwana land towards the north. Okay, from the Gondwana land, Australia was divided or moved away, and here the northward drift or the movement resulted in the collision of the plate with the much larger Eurasian plate. We know that Eurasia or the part of Europe and Asia which is existing north and Australia below south. Okay, so they began to collide each other. So that the pressure also occurred. And due to this collision, the sedimentary rocks which were accumulated in the sea, okay, Tethys Sea, we have already studied in between there was a Tethys Sea. So all because of this collision from the Eurasian plateau and the Australian plate, Eurasian plate and Australian plate, the Tethys Sea was accumulated with sedimentary rocks. So all these rocks and debris were fallen here, and this sea was covered. So this sea was folded. Okay, it was pressed from both sides. When it got the immense pressure, it was lifted up or folded up in the formation of the mountains. We can find when it was folded upwards, mountains of the Western Asia and Himalayas were formed. We know the northern part of India we have the Himalaya mountains, and the Western Asian mountains and the Himalayas were formed in this way. From the both sides pressure occurred to the Tethys Sea. So we can find the remains of aquatic animals in the Himalayas also. When the Himalayas are excavated, the geologists had found out the aquatic remains of aquatic animals, which means or which shows that once upon a time there was a sea, also that the sea animals remains were found there. So the Himalayan uplift out of the Tethys Sea, from the Tethys Sea, the Himalayas were formed. So this reason from the subsidence of the northern flank of the peninsular plateau. Now we can find sinking of this region, and the South India we can find in the South India we can find the peninsular plateau, okay, or the Deccan plateau also was formation, also was the result of this movement only. Okay, so South India we know there is Deccan plateau, and north there is plains also, Himalaya mountains extreme north, then comes the northern plains, south we can find the Deccan plateau. These all were the result of this type of movement or this. So in course of time this there was a depression formed, okay, in between, and south of the Himalayas a depression formed. Rivers, we know that Ganga river, Ganga Yamuna is flowing through this region. So gradually got filled with this depression, was filled with the deposition of sediments, or the sediments which is fallen from the, or by the during the river. The sediments were brought from the mountains, were deposited on the banks of this depression or this river, and plains were formed. So south it was lifted up as the Deccan plateau, and north it was formed as plains. So northern plains we can find the fertile land in India, most fertile land in India. So many of the cultivations are done this region. So a flat land over the extensive alluvial plains are formed in the northern part of India. That means northern plains, which is we can found in the Uttar Pradesh, Bihar regions. This is the northern plains were found in this way, and the south the Deccan plateau also. So the northern plains are formed of alluvial deposits, especially alluvial means alluvium is brought by the rivers from the Himalayas. So the northern plains have alluvial soils. Now the peninsular plateaus, South India, this is also, there are igneous and metamorphic rocks with gently rising hills and wide valleys can be found. In the South India, the Deccan plateau is a triangular mass of Deccan plateau is found there. There we can find the rocks, different types of rocks are found there, gentle rising hills are there, and wide valleys also are found in the South India. So in the next class we will study about the major physical divisions. What are the physical divisions of India? The Himalaya mountains, northern plains, peninsular plateau, Indian desert, coastal plains, islands, etc. We are studying in the next class.